let's get to the next one. Now, normally I kind of put the movies in rank of personal enjoyment, and um, this was one I did enjoy. I really did enjoy this one. I had a good time with it. Captain America: Brave New World. There are aspects of it. Of course, there's a lot of controversy going on right now. There's an Israeli character in this as well. As you know, I was just talking about September 5, but an Israeli character from the comic books, Sabra, I think her name is, and she's a superhero, and I guess they were going to add her to this. I didn't get too involved into the controversy or the reshoots and all that stuff, because I just feel like that stuff, if I get into it, is going to ruin the experience of seeing the movie. And I'll look into it more now that I've seen this movie actually twice. I took my kids to go see it too. We had a good time with it. The main story, the core that you can tell is there, is interesting. I really enjoyed it. Anthony Mackie carries the movie very well. I like him as Cap. I like him in it. I hope they start surrounding him with better assets. Honestly, he needs a seat at the table, first of all, because the fact that we are, all right, I'm gonna get a little ranty on Marvel, so I apologize if I go that route and you don't like it. Marvel, of course, we all know, has kind of really messed up this whole thing in this last couple of phases. But when it comes down to this, like, I do like Anthony Mackie, but they are holding him back. And it pisses me off. First off, I don't know what the deal with Sabra being in there was. I don't know why we needed an Israeli Black Widow. I think that was part of the controversy. They didn't want to have an Israeli superhero because of everything going on right now. Again, I am just speculating on that. I'm not making a judgment. I'm not putting anything. I don't speak on foreign policy. I speak on movies. So, and foreign movies sometimes. So, for this, she felt out of place, and I also wasn't a big fan of the actor, but it didn't feel like she was bad at acting. It felt like there was a directionless character that was like kind of put on her, and that's what I got. Like, this right here felt like they were trying to make this entrance as, I don't know, as pivotal as when Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, Natasha, was introduced in Iron Man 2, and it didn't work. And because it felt like it was shoehorned in. I wish they had thought about this and maybe got Florence Pugh to come in and be, for this Captain America, what Natasha was for Steve, and that connection, what she did with Winter Soldier and how close she was with him. They could have done that with him, and that's built. It would have made it way more believable that the president would go to him and say, if the Black Widow's sister's there, who we now know is established and ready to go, and is a Black Widow. I don't know why it had to be an Israeli-born Black Widow. Like, it just was so oddly shaped. Whereas you have Thunderbolts coming up, there's already a connection with Bucky and all these other things, and you could have used her. And I swear to God, Marvel, why do you always mess this up? I only mean that because it's if you had planned this properly, you could have used her, and that would have made more sense, that she's working with the president. And afterwards, maybe why she'd be out of a job when what happens to him. We all know he turns into the Red Hulk. They've shown it in every freaking trailer for it, but which they shouldn't have for the way they did this. But for the Red Hulk and what ultimately happens to Ross, and I'll leave that alone, but she could have then ended up down a track towards the Thunderbolts and working with Bucky again. But at least, like, it's established now, Captain America and Black Widow are going to team up to put together a new Avengers, which you took away from any chance of that when you introduced Professor Hulk and Captain Marvel in Shang-Chi, and was like sort of making that the new Avengers. Like, God damn, I hate directionless franchises. But other than those things, and how they completely screwed up the Serpent Society, which I know they shot. You know, Seth Rollins is supposed to play a character. There's a few others that are supposed to play characters. And you had a great actor in Giancarlo Esposito being there, but you underutilized him the whole time. You didn't utilize the Serpent Society, which would have been awesome. The leader's cool. You know, it was a kind of a cool plot, but I don't know. Like, I felt like you were sort of underselling how much work Sam put in to be Captain America. Like, we watched the movies, we know how much work he put in. He's the only one who actually trained to become Captain America. In that sense, and then, like, really, that you see on screen. So you know, and I know people are going to pick that apart, and like I do realize you see Steve training and things like that, but like I have a whole point on that. You can go read my Substack. You know, for me, like you watch these movies and like Sam has done such a good job. Like they should have surrounded him a little bit better. Like he deserved that. Like Chris Evans with Steve Rogers and Winter Soldier, which to me was the ultimate in the Captain America. Like it needed a second movie after Captain America First Avenger, like because that was a movie that takes place in the past, and like it needed to happen. We needed Captain America's origin story on screen for this, but it pales in comparison to Winter Soldier, of course, but we needed that first one to get to the second one. So to me, the second one is the official in Marvel universe, really well done Captain America movie that you know, just honestly stands test time in comic book movies as far as I go. But he had such a good surrounding base. That's what they should have done with Anthony Mackie's character. I wish they had. I did like Joaquin Torres in there. He has Falcon. You see Bucky, but like I like the direction they're taking him. And a couple other fun ones. But like this was a fun movie at its core. You gotta let go of some things because Marvel is marveling right now. But you can probably wait for this one when it comes to home streaming. But yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. Sound off. Let's see any comments about this one. I love this movie. But hated when they gave Red Hulk away in the previews. Right? Actually, yeah. Let me speak on that with Red Hulk because like it was a fine sequence. I liked the sequence and I loved the idea of what they're doing with Sam Wilson's character, where he can be mean. He can be mean. Like, and I love that Isaiah Bradley is his sort of that's like the view of who the bitterness that is this Captain America is capable of, but he is always fighting it. He's always fighting that urge to do things out of bitterness or anger. He's always fighting the urge to be as good-hearted as Steve and not angry. And that's not easy for him. And he says that. And I love that. He's always got to be on point. And I love that he chooses diplomacy. Not all of them do. He really does choose diplomacy over everything. And that is seen. I love how he handled the Red Hulk in this. I love how he kept handling everything until he was finally like, all right, that's enough. I got to take charge. And he did. So he plays such a great role in this. If they would let him shine more and let him interact with other possible members of the Avengers, it'd be nice because then he'd feel authoritarian in nature towards, he would have an authoritative, a more authoritative role, I would say, in our eyes as the audience, which you're not giving them. But I really did like the movie. Harrison Ford was really good. I really liked Harrison Ford as President Ross. I now loved William Hurt, you know, late great. But yeah, Harrison Ford was just he played the anger well. I don't know that William Hurt, who's such a great actor, because he didn't have this, he had more of a stoicism to the Ross in the Incredible Hulk. He didn't really have a characteristics where I'd feel like you'd see him get mad like you are seeing Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford always looks bitter and grumpy, so you know, to me it's funny. And Carl Lumley as Isaiah Bradley is amazing, and I love him in everything. And he was also great as the detective in Fall in the House of Usher. So some movies are able to hide the production issues better than others. Brave New World is not one of them. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is glaring what's there. To me, the best part of this was the core of it. The action was fun. I mean, you have Tiamat coming back after the Eternals just to add adamantium to the world, and I get that. And if you were going to do anything interesting with it other than add it for whatever sake, I'd be interested. But I'm not. Like what bugs me about it is you're not going to do anything like, okay, now we're mining adamantium. We don't need Wakanda's vibranium. What does that look like for Wakanda? Are you going to use that in the next movie? I doubt it. I doubt that's ever going to come up. I doubt it's ever going to be a thing, even though they brought it up in this movie. So those are the little things with that really just kind of bug me. James MCD Reviews says, Harrison Ford was one of the best parts of, and the Hulk fight was fun. I just wish it wasn't all shown in the trailer. 100% agree. I wish none of it was. I wish we could keep things a secret. We can't. And then we get rid of Serpent Society and whatever. And we have a brand new Black Widow that we don't need because we're trying to get to the very next movie coming out with the Black Widow. Whatever. But yeah, overall, this movie, like I said, 3 out of 5. I know with all of the complaining that I'm doing, but I can do that with every Marvel movie after a point, and some before. So, you know, it's it's always going to happen. There's always going to be bitching and moaning. But like, as far as this goes, this is one I will watch again. Again, I really did like the action. I like the aerial battles. They were fun. I like Sam as Captain America. So when I rewatch the Captain America movies, this is going to be rewatched. So that's how I feel about it. I actually like the Serpent Society stuff better than the Leader stuff. John Clark, I do too. I wish they actually used the Serpent Society though, as they had filmed it, but then completely cut things and shown all of those characters collectively together, you know, working on this. Yeah, I mean, I think it suffers from too many villains too, and not well utilized villains. So.